Hello everyone and welcome to my Soap Twist 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Bold and the Beautiful, BNB, spoilers for Wednesday, October 15th, reveal that Sheila Sharp's, Kimberlyn Brown, jealousy of Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, will flare up before Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon. Here's his wife's plea. For starters, Deacon will open up to Taylor in a therapy session and hopes to continue seeing her. Taylor will be willing to offer Deacon more support as he navigates his failing marriage, especially now that he has moved out. Of course, Sheila will be desperate to persuade Deacon to put their relationship back on track. According to BNB spoilers, Sheila will spy on Deacon and Taylor as the session comes to a close, glaring with jealousy as she watches them share an embrace. Sheila can be dangerous when she feels threatened, and she will undoubtedly see Taylor as a threat to her marriage. Taylor and Sheila already have a strained relationship, and now that Deacon is seeking Taylor's assistance with his marital issues, their feud may resurface. Over with Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, she'll tell Ridge Forrester, Torsten K., about Taylor's happy future. Brooke and Taylor have had their fair share of problems, but Brooke does not want her to be unhappy. Brooke will continue to celebrate her reunion with Ridge, but she will admit that she hopes Taylor will find her perfect man and have a happy ending as well. Sheila, on the other hand, is focused on her own future with Deacon, so she will approach him at Il Giardino and make a heartfelt plea. After Sheila expresses how much she needs Deacon in her life, she will beg him to return home and work through their marital problems. Unfortunately, Deacon and Sheila will not be able to easily fix what is broken. Sheila shattered their trust, so Deacon will remind her of it and expose all of Luna Nozawa's, Lisa Yamada, secrets. According to the Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Sheila will eventually learn about Luna's arrest and have the opportunity to react to the shocking news, so stay tuned. Brooke, Ridge, and Hope are at Forrester, watching models walk down the runway. Brooke is forced to inform Hope that nothing is grabbing her. Ridge agrees. She needs something new. Hope has reviewed designers' portfolios and is eager to receive feedback. After a quick recap on Luna, Hope is concerned that her father will never be the same. Hope notices Deke, who is hiding his portfolio outside the door, and invites him in. He chats with Brooke and Ridge, who jokes that he can help Hope babysit her father. He believes they will assist him in making the best decision to permanently remove Sheila from his life. When they're alone, Brooke paws Ridge and expresses her gratitude that he brought back hope for the future. They kiss until Brooke pauses to wonder how Taylor is doing. She believes she has opportunities, including the possibility of meeting a new man. Deke places his portfolio on the desk in the design office, while Hope speaks on the phone. When she disconnects, they discuss the Sheila and Deacon situation. Deke is confident he can outperform a homicidal maniac. Hope believes that any woman could outperform Sheila. How will Sheila channel Brooke? At Il Giardino, Deacon calls Taylor. She had a last-minute cancellation, so he can come in. Sheila appears as he promises to be there shortly. His wife expresses a desire to communicate as she misses us. They focus on Sheila's betrayal, which is both horrifying and shameful. Sheila assures him that Luna is in custody. I can't help her now, not even if I wanted to. Doing her best Brooke impression, Sheila begs him to return home. Deacon is tired of the insanity. Even if he forgave her, how could he forget that she wanted to let the monster run free? He needs to figure out where he's going from here and admits to seeing someone to help him figure it out. Sheila frowns. Professionally? She asks who it is. Deacon says he has been seeing Taylor. Sheila is confident that the world-renowned psychiatrist will return him to her. What happens in the final scenes? Deacon arrives at Taylor's office and leaves the door open while they sit down. He admits he is struggling. Has he been naive in believing that Sheila has changed? He needs to decide on his future and whether Sheila will be a part of it. Taylor offers to recommend a colleague who isn't so close, but Deacon prefers that she knows the whole story. Taylor needs to understand how much he loves her. Deacon loves her, but doesn't trust her. What do you think? Do I end my marriage to Sheila? Taylor advises that the answer must come from within him. Deacon is concerned that Sheila will return to the dark side. Sheila approaches the door and eavesdrops on Deacon pleading with Taylor to tell him what to do. She considers whether change is possible. He adds, "But with someone like Sheila, it's not likely." Taylor emphasizes that the decision to end his marriage must be his own. Deacon appreciates the opportunity to discuss this with someone so intelligent and beautiful. Sheila's expression darkens as Deacon describes Ridge as an ass for what he did to Taylor, and she compliments him in return. Deacon turns on the charm, saying he has forgotten what it is like to look into the eyes of an honest and pure woman. They hug as Sheila glowers, perhaps sensing that their union will soon be all she has to remember. The quiet suburb of Willow Creek, where maple trees whispered secrets to the wind and picket fences protected fragile dreams, was buzzing with unspoken anxieties. Everyone was concerned about Deacon and Taylor's love lives, those two eternal romantics whose hearts seemed forever entwined in the thorns of unrequited longing. Deacon, with his weathered hands and faded denim eyes, had once loved passionately, only to see it slip away like sand through calloused fingers. Taylor, elegant and poised, bore the weight of a previous betrayal, her smiles masking the pain of nights alone. The neighbors chatted over coffee at the corner diner, wondering if they'd ever find comfort in each other's arms. Little did they know that on a rainy evening, Sheila would find them locked in an embrace that shattered illusions and gave birth to a tragedy no one could have predicted. Sheila had always been an outsider, a widow with silver-streaked hair and a loss-stricken gaze. Her husband, Elias, had vanished in a hiking accident years before, leaving her with echoes of laughter in an empty house. She moved to Willow Creek to hide, but the town's prying eyes found her anyway. Sheila's days became routine, tending her overgrown garden, where roses bloomed defiantly among weeds, and wandering the misty paths of Eldridge Park at dusk. She first noticed Deacon and Taylor under the canopy of ancient oak trees. They frequently met by the old stone bridge, their conversations laced with the tentative hope of new beginnings. The town watched, concerned that their fragile connection would crumble under the weight of old wounds. One autumn evening, as crimson and gold leaves carpeted the ground, Sheila sought refuge in the park. The air was heavy with the scent of damp earth and impending rain. She clutched her worn scarf, which Elias had knitted, the threads fraying like her determination. She froze as she rounded a bend. Deacon held Taylor close beneath the bridge arch. His arms wrapped around her, her head resting on his shoulder, and their bodies swayed gently, as if dancing to a melody only they could hear. Taylor's fingers traced the contours of his face, and their embrace spoke of surrender, a quiet vow amid the whispering winds. Sheila's heart clenched. It wasn't jealousy that moved her, it was recognition. That raw and unguarded intimacy mirrored the one she had with Elias before the mountain claimed him. She moved silently away, but a twig snapped underfoot. They parted abruptly, their eyes meeting hers in the dim light. Deacon's cheeks flushed with embarrassment, Taylor's with vulnerability. "Sheila," Deacon said quietly, "it's not what," but she waved him off, forcing a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Just a coincidence," she lied before fleeing into the shadows. Sheila couldn't fall asleep that night. The image replayed in her mind, the warmth of their bodies pressed together, the unspoken promise in their embrace. It brought back memories she'd buried deep, how Elias' embrace had protected her from literal and figurative storms. In Willow Creek, love was a spectator sport, with everyone scrutinizing Deacon and Taylor's every look and tentative step toward healing. But Sheila recognized the truth. Their embrace was a tenuous bridge over a chasm of pain. And as she witnessed it, she felt her own grief resurface, like a tidal wave about to drown her. Days turned into weeks, and the town's concern grew. Rumors circulated that Deacon and Taylor were finally bridging their differences, their love lives intertwining like vines on a trellis. Potlucks buzzed with speculation, and bridge clubs debated their compatibility. Sheila, on the other hand, backed away even further. She gave up her park walks and instead paced her dimly lit living room, Elias's old pocket watch ticking like a heartbeat on the mantelpiece. The watch had stopped the day he vanished, frozen at 3:17 as a cruel reminder of time's indifference. One stormy afternoon, unable to bear the isolation, Sheila went to the diner. The air was alive with talk about Deacon and Taylor's most recent sighting, hand in hand at the farmer's market, laughing over fresh apples. "They're soulmates," Mrs. Hargrove said, her voice tinged with envy disguised as concern. Sheila sipped her tea, the steam obscuring her vision. Soulmates? She wanted to scream that love was not a fairy tale, that embraces could lead to heartbreaks as vast as the ocean. Sheila returned to the park that evening, drawn by an unknown force. Rain pattered softly, turning the path into mud. She found them again near the bridge, Deacon and Taylor deep in conversation. They approached her again as she hid behind a cluster of birches. Taylor's lips touched Deacon's cheek, and he drew her into a closer embrace, their silhouettes merging against the gray sky. Sheila's breath tightened. It was beautiful and heartbreaking, two souls mending in the ruins of their pasts. But something changed within her. The sight reawakened a dormant rage, not against them, but against the universe's cruelty. Why them? Why not her and Elias? Tears mingled with rain on her cheeks as she stumbled forward to confront them. "How dare you?" she whispered, her voice breaking. Deacon and Taylor turned, their faces etched with confusion. "Sheila, what's wrong?" Taylor inquired, reaching out. "Wrong?" Everything was wrong. Sheila poured out her heart about the accident, the endless search parties that yielded nothing but echoes, and the years of waiting for a body that never appeared. "You embrace like nothing can touch you," she accused, "but loss waits for everyone. It devours." Deacon, ever the gentle soul, stepped forward. "We're sorry for your pain, Sheila. But holding on it doesn't honor Elias. It traps you." His voice pierced her. That night, Sheila returned home and discovered Elias' letters in a dusty trunk. Yellowed pages filled with promises of eternity, written during their courtship. One passage haunted her. "In your arms, I find eternity." She clutched it and cried until dawn. The next day, she went to see Deacon and Taylor, not out of rage, but to gain some understanding. They met in her cottage, with tea steaming on the table. Taylor listened as Sheila described the embrace that had unraveled her. "It reminded me of what I lost," she said. Deacon shared his own scars, a divorce that left him hollow, nights spent wondering if love was worth the risk. Taylor confessed her fiancé's abandonment on their wedding day, a betrayal that had harmed her trust. Bonds formed when people were vulnerable. Sheila realized that the town's concern was caused by their own fears, which they projected onto Deacon and Taylor. But tragedy loomed. Weeks later, as autumn gave way to winter, Elias' remains were discovered, washed downstream by a hidden current and identified by the rusted locket Sheila had given him. The news shattered her again. The town rallied, but Sheila remained isolated, haunted by memories of her last embrace with her husband before his hike. In her delirium, she wandered to the bridge at midnight, with the river swollen and furious below. Deacon and Taylor, sensing her despair, searched through the snowy night. They found her there, teetering on the edge, whispering to the ghosts of past embraces. "Join me, Elias," she muttered. Taylor's voice broke through. "Sheila, please. Love isn't gone. It's in the living." Deacon extended a hand, echoing the embrace she'd seen. She grasped it with trembling fingers and pulled back from the brink. Recovery was a slow process, woven from shared stories and quiet support. The town shifted from worry to reflection, realizing that Deacon and Taylor's love was about more than just them. It mirrored everyone's hidden sorrows. Sheila eventually found a fragile peace, tending her garden with renewed purpose, planting bulbs that promise spring. Their embrace, once a source of pain, has become a symbol of resilience. But the saddest truth remained: love's warmth could illuminate the darkest voids, but it could not resurrect the deceased. As snow fell on the bridge in Willow Creek, whispers turned to hopes, and Sheila realized that witnessing another's joy did not diminish her own loss. It simply made her heart ache with a profound, universal sorrow. Deacon and Taylor's love remained a beacon in the midst of grief, reminding everyone that embraces, no matter how fleeting, were the threads that held the broken together. The rain fell gently at first, tracing ghostly fingers down the glass of the small cafe, where Sheila sat alone. The street outside gleamed in the dim gold of the lamplight, and people rushed past, heads bowed and coats drawn close. She stirred her coffee, which had long since gone cold, and fixed her gaze on the empty chair across from her. Taylor had previously occupied this seat. It was Sheila's before Taylor came around. Sheila, Taylor, and Deacon had spent many evenings together in that easy, unspoken rhythm of friendship that felt like family. At least, that is what Sheila told herself. Even as she tried to believe it, the truth was there, like a splinter under her skin. She had always loved Deacon, and he had never looked at her the way Taylor did. Sheila had known Deacon for nearly 5 years. They'd met at the rehabilitation center, where they were both attempting to piece together what remained of their lives. He had a laugh that could make even broken things sound beautiful again. He could tell a story that made even pain seem worthwhile. Sheila had fallen for him in such a quiet way that she almost missed it. It wasn't the dizzying kind of love that sweeps you away. It was slow, steady, and felt safe. Taylor arrived later. She was a therapist who occasionally volunteered at the center, hosting group sessions for those who wanted to talk. She was graceful in a natural, effortless way that made others trust her. She did not intend to draw attention, but she did. Deacon immediately admired her. Even though Sheila smiled and played along, she noticed it. The way his voice softened when he said Taylor's name, the way his eyes followed her even when he wasn't aware of it. After meeting, they all went to the cafe. The air smelled of cinnamon and coffee beans, and Deacon had teased Taylor about her endless patience with others. Taylor had laughed, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear, and for a brief moment, Sheila saw something fragile flicker across Deacon's face. Hope. That was the night Sheila realized she'd lost him, even though she'd never really had him to begin with. It might have been simpler if Deacon and Taylor had simply developed a quiet relationship and drifted away together. However, life was not so merciful. Instead, they remained close, all three of them. They were inseparable for a while, and their shared laughter was genuine, even for Sheila. There were days when she almost forgot about the hollow ache under her ribs. She convinced herself that friendship was sufficient and that proximity could supplant love. But jealousy is patient. It lurks in the corners of kindness, feeding on every insignificant gesture you try to dismiss.